Hi, my name is Sadie, and I have a little channel called Sadie Jane Creations, and I'm an artist. I'm working on actually opening a small art shop right now. And yeah, I've got a really great video today. I'm actually posting my first sketchbook tour, which is so crazy to me. I never thought that I would, I don't know, be sharing my sketchbook so openly because, I mean, it's kind of a personal item. But I really have been so inspired by other people's sketchbook tours, and I know people really seem to love them. And so I hope that this brings you some inspiration. I hope it encourages you to try a sketchbook for yourself. All right, so here's the little bad boy that I just finished, sorry. And it is a Canson. It's a mixed media. It's the smallest size sketchbook I've actually ever worked with, but I didn't really mind the size. It's a 7x10. And yeah, I just stuck some stickers on here. I had a set of planet stickers and I stuck the moon on here because we had an extra one. I don't know. And then I had this little Egyptian sticker from this activity book that I got my son, with these little stars and a fish. But yeah, really fun. Again, okay size. The only thing that I would kind of complain about, like I felt like the paper held up okay for mixed media. I didn't really have a whole lot of complaints about that. But the pages had a hard time staying in there, which I really didn't like. So again, if you use sketchbooks and you take the pages out a lot, you probably won't mind, but for some reason in this, they just didn't stay in. I just wanted to bring up, so this was actually going to be a double sketchbook tour because I have another sketchbook that I finished a little bit before this one that I'm showing today. And I thought it was a really good sketchbook because it really shows my progress over a couple years and getting to the point where I wanted to take my art hobby more seriously and make it a career. So I didn't film it as a double sketchbook tour. Just the video got so long, and I figured, I'll just show the most, currently finished sketchbook that I had here on this platform. But I am going to be posting this other sketchbook again because I just think it's really interesting to see the progress and everything. For some people it might be. But I'm going to be posting that over on my Patreon because I figured, the community that's on there, they might have more interest. And so again, if that's something you might like, feel free to check it out over there. Okay, so this is the sketchbook that I'm going to be showing today. And I loved this sketchbook. It was so great. It really just changed my relationship with using a sketchbook in my creative practice because for years when I kept a sketchbook, it was just solely to, conceptualize ideas. And so I just really used pencil, some pen maybe. But I got really inspired by all these amazing artists and their sketchbooks on these platforms and how they use mixed media and they use different colors. And so bringing more color and more experimentation into my sketchbook practice it made me fall in love with it so much more. And now I can't live without having a sketchbook. I mean, I highly recommend it. I wanted to talk about one thing real quick just before jumping in, which a big reason why, I wanted to talk about references because it seems to be a really hot topic with a lot of artists and how you use them and if you should use them. And honestly, I love using references, especially, in my sketchbook. Because it's your place to experiment and learn and develop. I don't obviously recommend, I don't think that anyone should, take designs from someone else and replicate them and sell them as their own. But if you're doing it solely to just keep it in your sketchbook and to develop your ideas, I think that that's great. I don't think that should be looked down on. So anyways, if there are artists that I used in this sketchbook, I will make sure to put their name on the screen or link them down below. And then just last thing was, if this footage is not like the best, I'm still kind of getting used to this. I'm, still learning. And this was by far, for some reason, it was the most I'm so sick of it. And if the footage in this like wasn't terrific, I'm sorry. This was actually like the most challenging video I've made. Something about like getting the angle right, showing close-ups of my work, trying to get my camera to focus has been challenging. So again, sorry if the footage isn't like wonderful. I just really hope you get some value from it, and I hope it's inspiring in some way. And I really appreciate you checking it out. If you feel like it, please comment, like, subscribe. I would appreciate it. And then maybe a little unconventional, but I'm going to actually start this sketchbook tour from the back because a lot of the spreads up front were the ones that I finished towards the end of the sketchbook for some weird reason. I don't know. It kind of worked out that way. So at the very back of the sketchbook, I pasted or taped in this like swatch chart that I got when I ordered a set of Holbein acrylic gouache paints, which I do pretty often with my sketchbooks. I don't know, just so I have them and I know where they are if I wanted to order new colors. And then on the back of here, and I guess this is kind of why it went this way, I put kind of some notes. I put some oil paints, like colors that I really wanted to get, some professional brands, and some just other art supply lists that I felt like I was gonna need. And then I was able to actually get most of the colors that I wanted for the oil paints, and I did a swatch test and I painted half the page with black acrylic and the other half of the page with white acrylic, and I just swatched the colors I got. They're all Gamblin oil paints, and then just a couple of the Williamsburg brand. On this next page, I've got this woman, and she's kind of holding herself, and I really actually love this pose. I don't know, really liked it. Right here, this is actually the sketch that inspired my last, the oil painting that I featured in my last vlog, the tropical inspired one, which is funny because it doesn't really look a whole lot like it, but I love how this fountain streams down, this stream from the mountain onto her hair. I don't know, something about it that I really like. And then I have this page where I just, for some reason, I was really trying to practice like how I would sign my name, just in general, like maybe for my logo. I wasn't really sure. And I did this little illustration up top with some trees and a fountain in between with some mushrooms growing off the tree. And then I have this page over here, which I really like. I don't know, something about it really reminds me of like pagan vibes. And on this other side, this is actually an oil painting now. That's what inspired. And yeah, I don't know. I really love this sketch. I don't know if the oil painting's gonna work out. I'm trying to figure that out, but we'll see. In the corner, I have a woman's face, and she's kind of got like this veil over her face. And then I wanted to practice drawing like a whole body, and so I got this reference of a model off of Pinterest. But my favorite drawing is actually this one over here in the bottom corner, like a freehand sketch that I did. I don't know, there's something about freehand sketches that I just love. They're so loose and so flowy, and I love the flower in her hair, and it's just so pretty to me. I tried to draw like someone's face kind of looking down, and I did it without a reference, which, I mean, again, a big reason why I love reference photos is they really help you understand how to draw something you're trying to figure out. And I wasn't able to really figure it out without a reference very well. It took me a minute to, it didn't work out. And then on this other page over here, I tried to draw some hands, and a little bit of a profile picture. And this tiny little face over in the corner, actually, I really do like. I don't know. When I drew it, I felt like I was just feeling it that day. And again, I just got to do a close-up of this face over here. I just love it. I don't know, something about the expression. And then on this page, let's see, I tried to do just some symbolism, like maybe, again, a logo, just something. I was trying to play around. Yeah, and then my son drew on this side. And then I was trying to figure out some stickers. Again, some sort of a logo. And then on the opposite side, I wanted to practice doing more landscape paintings, and I got this amazing book of like pictures from gardens, and just went through it, and I tried to keep practicing painting some of them. This was done with gouache. My favorite part of this picture actually is that sun up at the top for some reason. I don't know, I just really liked it. And so on this other page, these were some spirits that I was trying to figure out how to draw them and pose them for an oil painting, actually, which I haven't finished yet, but I'm really excited to try to figure that out. And then on this other side, I really just wanted to do some sort of a garden landscape, and I wanted to try to paint it in acrylic gouache, which didn't really work out. Maybe I'll try again one day. I wanted to try to draw an animal. I felt like it had been a while and I hadn't tried to draw any animals, so I tried to draw this little rabbit or bunny in the corner, which, went okay. I liked it. And then I had watched the movie Josie and the Pussycats, and so for some weird reason I just really wanted to draw Josie, and so I drew her up here in the corner. And up here at the top, I've got a little woman sitting in the crescent moon, which I really like the idea, the concept for that. And then I've got this this reference model from Pinterest, and I practiced drawing her, and I tried to really put a lot of detail into it, and I really like how it turned out. I was trying to, again, just figure out some different ideas for, again, my business. Draw like a symbol, and at the time in my life, I felt like I was really super busy, and so I drew myself like drinking coffee. I was thinking like I'd have multiple arms because I was trying to do so many different things. I'm kind of glad I didn't go that way though. And then on this page, I wanted to draw a skeleton or something, but I got kind of lazy, and so I just did like the broad, really fast-paced sketch of a skeleton. But I did love this figure up here in the top left-hand corner. I would really love to like rework it into a sticker or something because I just think it's so cute. And on this page, it's just kind of a jumbled mess. Again, for some reason, the one that I like the best is one of the freehand style. And then I've got a bunch of different eyes here, which actually inspired a different sketch in a different sketchbook, the one I'm going to be posting on Patreon. And then up here, the one in the middle, the figure with the wings, is actually was turned into an oil painting. I really loved this spread. All of these are, again, references from Pinterest. Except I think the top one came from an illustration of some sort. And yeah, I really love how they turned out. I'd love to like rework them into some sort of a more final piece of some sort. And then this was continued from that book of like gardening references. I'm pretty sure these were both done in gouache again. I really love how they turned out. Love this little shrine in the corner. I thought that was really cute. And yeah, I don't know, just really interesting. I usually draw figures and paint figures, and so doing landscapes is a really, really good exercise for me. And here is another reference from that gardening book. And again, I think it was done in gouache. I love this garden. It's so pretty. It was so pretty in the picture. I wish it was my garden. And then this is an idea that I have for a sticker. And I still really want to finish it, and hopefully one day I'll get to. Seems like I never have enough time to do everything I want. And then on this page, I've got these 3 little figures. One is a woman that's got the crescent moon on her head. And then in the corner, I love this freehand drawn girl. I love like her little face, and you know, I don't know, just so cute. And this figure riding the Pegasus is actually a painting that I'm working on for my mom. And yeah, super fun. I just love the feeling of this sketch. And then here is another one of the landscape paintings that I was working on, or pictures, with gouache. I didn't really get to finish this one before I had to actually return the book to the library. So I tried to outline it in some micron pen. And I don't know, I really like how it kind of ended up turning out. I feel like because I outlined it in some of this micron pen, it like gave it this weird like modern look. I don't know, kind of like graphic look. This might be, I mean, it might be my favorite, or one of my favorite spreads that I did in this sketchbook, and you can tell I really started using more color. I think I got some Prismacolor colored pencils, and I really wanted to practice using those. So the top picture was done with watercolor and a little bit of the colored pencils that I got. And it is from a painter. I'm pretty sure it's an Australian painter. And I'll link or write on the screen what his name is. But I loved the feeling of this, the atmosphere of it. I don't know. It's just such a beautiful picture. I'm really glad that I tried to redo it. And then on the bottom here, this is just, I think, just a real life like photograph of a wave. And I did it entirely in the colored pencil. Really took my time. And I remember when I was done with it, I kind of didn't love how it turned out. I felt like the clouds in the back kind of looked weird. But now looking back, I really do love it. There's something about it that I think is just really cool looking. And then this spread, it's so funny because I actually just really remember the day that I painted this. This was with these new acrylic Holbein gouache set that I got. And I really, really wanted to paint, and I usually get a chance to paint like when my kids take a nap. And I remember on this day, my kids just would not take a nap, and they just would not stop harassing me the whole time I was painting this. And so I journaled about it and how frustrated I was, which is funny because it's kind of like such a serene looking painting, but it was just such a frustrating experience. I remember I just really wanted to play with color. I wrote about it right here where I just kind of had like stained glass on my mind. And so that kind of inspired this top corner. And then I just kind of, just went with it and kept going. I really liked this little swan looking figure right here. I kind of wanted to go back and put color on it, but I didn't. And then this is another landscape practice that I did. This was from a picture, probably from Pinterest. And this was again, with the Holbein acrylic gouache that I got. I was just trying to kind of practice and learn how they worked. And yeah, I didn't really love how it turned out. But I really liked learning about like the colors and how it worked. And I don't think it's going to really show on the camera, but this brown color down here, I think it was like burnt sienna or something. It just glistens. It's so pretty. And then I really wanted to try doing some like tattoo styled tigers or something. And so I drew these. I wanted to color them, but I never did. Maybe one day I will. And continuing on, I started with these doodles in the top. It was like the first doodles of the day. And then I kept going, and I loved the way that this little eye by this sun turned out. It's so pretty and cute, and it reminds me of the sun for some reason, maybe because of that little sun right there. And then I drew, I don't know, just a fruit hanging over this tiger, kept the tiger motif going. And this woman down here at the bottom was a reference from Pinterest. On this page, I wrote down at the very bottom, that this was the day after my son's 4th birthday. And I had these flowers in a vase, and so I just really wanted to try to draw them. And I really like how it turned out. I don't know, something, again, for some reason, because it's not painted, it kind of looks graphic, to me, I don't know. And then the woman over here on the side is a reference from Pinterest, and I remember, I wanted to try to draw the dress. That's what I was practicing. But she was so filtered. She had so much, I don't know, fuzziness or something going on with her picture that I had a really hard time actually rendering it as a drawing. And it just got really frustrating. And so I taped this tape over her face, and I just, I don't know, drew her really crappy kind of arm, flipping me off, I guess. I don't know. I kind of got frustrated. And on this page, this might have been done a little bit earlier than some of the other previous pictures, but this is just a swatch test that I did with those Holbein gouache, acrylic gouache. And I just took the leftover paint from swatching, and I did this really rudimentary, quick painting just to kind of see how all the colors would work together. But you can see that the colors, they're really beautiful. It was a really nice set. I think it came with 12, and then I bought an additional color, a dark, brown, burnt umber. And then on this next page, again, I wanted to practice with those acrylic gouache sets, and I wanted to try to do a style of painting I do with my oil paints. And of course, it kind of did not work out because they're very fast drying. It's definitely not a very similar medium in that aspect. And the top one I did first, and then this second one on the bottom after. And you can tell, I think it got better after I did the first one. And even though I don't really love how it turned out, I do really love something about the look in the second figure's face. It's just, I don't know, kind of nostalgic looking or something. And then this sketch I did with just some gel pens that I had. I only had a couple minutes to do a sketch, but I really wanted to do one that day, and so I just hurried and did this figure. And I did her little necklace and a little bit of the flower detail with a golden acrylic. Really quick, I don't know, studies. I really just wanted to practice colors. I wanted to practice mixing my mediums. And yeah, it was really interesting. I really loved the one at the very top left corner on this page. And then on the next one, I didn't really finish some of them, but I kind of the same thing. I really liked playing around with the clouds again in the top left-hand corner. And then my favorite one was actually the one at the very bottom. I really love, I don't know why, but I love how the rocks turned out. I think that I used the golden acrylic again, and then I used a micron pen to put the shadows behind them, and I just thought it looked really cool. And then another one of my favorite spreads in this sketchbook, it was really fun to do. The black in one of these is, I just used the micron brush pen, and the other one I actually used black acrylic. I don't remember which one was which. And then the rest of it is just done with the Prismacolor colored pencils. I love how graphical and comic booky the woman on the left looks. And then on the right, I really love, I don't know, just the intimacy that I feel in this picture. And I got both of these references from Pinterest, and in the one with the couple, the woman actually had a tear going down her eye in the original, and I didn't end up including that, and I kind of am really glad that I didn't, because I feel like it gave it a whole other feeling. And then here is another landscape study I did. I love the way that this one turned out. I love the bright orange over here in the corner, and this like really pink purple border that I did. It just complements it so well. And I actually ended up turning it into a sticker, and I really love how it turned out. It was done with the acrylic gouache, and then I just used these really crappy oil pastels that I have to go over the top, and it just gave it this really nice texture. And then on this page, just kind of some fun. I just wanted to do something with a night sky and this figure, and I love how it feels. It's like a really spiritual feeling piece to me. On this page, I wanted to practice using those Prismacolored pencils with figures, and I love that I was able to achieve, I don't know, just such color. Like, especially in this top picture, something about that little glisten in one of her eyes and like the green undertones. I just really loved how it turned out. And then again, one of my favorites, I really loved the way that this turned out. This was done with the Prismacolored pencils. The top mountain is inspired by one of the mountains that I live the closest to, which is the Kings Peak mountain over here in the Salt Lake Valley. And then the one on the bottom is actually the mountains that we have to the west of us. And I remember seeing the mountains one of these days, and that's what it looked like. The sun was just shining down the middle of it. It was just so pretty, and that's where that came from. And again, I just love the color that I was able to get, especially in this mountain at the top. All those different colors is just so pretty. I want to turn it into like a sticker or something. Then in the fashion of this sketchbook and trying to try new things, I wanted to draw like clothing and figures wearing clothes, and it's not something I do like a whole lot. And I was really inspired by the artist Sarah Faber and how she draws figures with their clothes. Anyways, I wish I kind of wouldn't have colored it in with the colored pencils though. I just didn't really work out very well. I don't know. I, again, wanted to do more animals, and I love hummingbirds, so wanted to practice with some hummingbirds. And I love the way that these turned out. I used the Prismacolored pencils, and I think you can tell I started to get used to like how to really use them a little better. And yeah, I love how colorful they are. In the corner over here, I didn't finish it, unfortunately, but I really wanted to do like a really close-up, you know, just intense, show how, like, I mean, how colorful these birds really are. But I never really figured it out. Maybe one day. I don't know. And then this spread, this probably is my favorite in the whole sketchbook. I just love it. Like, I don't know, the way that it feels, the way that it looks. I remember I painted this, it was summertime, and my garden was just in full bloom, and I just felt like this woman in this picture so much, like just in awe, in total serenity of how beautiful nature is. And I just love how, I don't know, loose it feels, how, you know, the colors just kind of blend all over the place. And I actually did rework this into a watercolor painting that I really love, but it didn't really retain some of the features of this drawing that I really did like. So maybe one day I'll like try to, I don't know, somehow redo it, because I kind of messed it up, and I would love to try to do it again. And then over here, I wrote, and I've been trying to do this in every sketchbook lately. At the very beginning of the sketchbook, I write a page of something down, and then at the very end, I write down another page of something. Just kind of a nice way to like remember where I was when I started and where I ended up after. And then this page, it just sat there with these quotes written on there forever. And then I just figured I'd put something on there, and I had these teddy bear sunflowers in mind and these golden raspberries, and I just kind of put those in there and used a whole bunch of different mediums, and yeah, I don't know, filled it up. And then this page, I didn't really do what I wanted to with it, but I put these little fairies on there in that golden acrylic, which I thought was kind of cool. And then this was one of the first pages that I actually painted in this sketchbook, and this is actually with oil paint. I didn't prime this or anything. It was like I didn't know how to use oil paints at all, and you can really tell. But But yeah, you know. This was again towards the end of this sketchbook. And I think that this was watercolor and then the oil pastels over the top. And I really love the colors. It's really vibrant in person. But yeah, these oil pastels are just like the cheapest brand, and they're very crappy, and it just made it really hard to kind of do much with. And then such fun memories on this next page. This was done with crayon, actually. Me and my 4-year-old wanted to color, and I just thought I'd play around and test crayons out and see how they worked as, you know, an art supply. And I actually like how this flower up at the top turned out. And on this next page, I kind of continued the same idea, but I actually had my 4-year-old help me, and it was really fun, and I loved it. And then on the next page, I filmed the whole process for this, and I posted it as a reel because, yeah, it was a lot of fun. There's so many layers in this. I think it was the acrylic gouache with the oil pastels over it. And this is a photograph of a real ocean scene. I'll link the person below. I haven't been able to verify that it's actually his picture, but my favorite thing in this picture for some reason is this rock right here. It just sticks out to me. I just love it. So cute. And then last but not least, this is my last spread in this. And this was actually like inspired by a dream I had. And again, I wanted to practice with these Prismacolored pencils. I put this little moon with the golden Prismacolored pencil. And then, you know, I really thought it was cool how the white curtain turned out. And then I took the acrylic golden color and put it around the edge, and it really just shines so bright. It's so pretty. So that was pretty much that's my whole thing. Again, this was so valuable, and I'm going to cherish this forever. I know a lot of artists say they when they finish a sketchbook, they pack it up, they put it away, and they don't ever really look at them again, but that definitely doesn't happen for me. But yeah, I like to just keep it in my studio and flip through it once in a while, kind of like an old journal or diary, and remember ideas that I had that maybe I didn't ever get to finish. And yeah, there's something kind of sad about, you know, finishing a sketchbook, but honestly, I don't ever really get that bummed about it, and I don't really get a whole lot of anxiety with starting a new sketchbook for some weird reason. In fact, I've got this new big bad boy. It's a lot bigger than the last one, and it's almost done. Like, I've only got like this much left, and it is chock full of just so much color. I mean, I've loved working on this thing. So there should be a new sketchbook tour coming soon. And yeah, if you haven't tried using a sketchbook, or if you did and it just didn't really work out, I seriously encourage you to please keep trying. You can make it whatever you want. You know, you can, you know, really use it like a journal, which is kind of what I do. And you can use it as a place of solace, and I just think it can be so valuable. But again, thank you so much for taking the time, spending a little bit of it with me, checking out my sketchbook. I know things are just so crazy in the world right now. So I really hope that, you know, it was a nice break. I hope it gave you a little bit of inspiration again to go out and try your own sketchbook. And if you feel so inclined, check out my other videos. I've been gone for a little bit. I haven't been posting as much, but I'm going to be trying to get back on that track. But again, thank you so much. Take care.